If you crack first, Dave, it won't make you any less of a man.
I'm nowhere near cracking.
Neither am I, my friend.
Dave. And Matthew, what is it now? For God's sake, no one's smoking, okay? But nothing! You know what we need around here is an anti-whining ordinance. So just sip your sniveling little lip and haul your skinny ass out of here!
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. We've got a host of comic book industry news. We're not doing DC. We're not doing Marvel. We're not doing indie. We're doing all of it. We got some big DC Comics news. We got lots of delays. And if you're a Batman fan and you're expecting to celebrate Batman Day, you're going to need to know this information. And if you're just a DC fan, you're going to want to know this too, because there are a lot of delays and expect more. We've also got the Death of Doctor Strange trailer. We got a little bit of information, not only from the trailer, but we also got an official release from Marvel. We got some words from the creator, Jed MacKay himself. We'll talk about that. And then we also have word that there's a Geiger 80-page giant coming out from Jeff Johns from Image Comics. Obviously, that's part of Mad Ghost. They're going to be introducing a lot of new characters in the Geiger universe that we're likely going to be seeing in the pages for Mad Ghost in the future. Sorry about that. And then finally, Stephanie Phillips will be working on a new Wonder Woman series, and she's promising major changes for Wonder Woman coming out of this. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but we will cover it. Now, before I get into the details of all these stories, starting off with the DC Comics delays, I do want to say, if you've been a fan of the variant covers, the special covers coming out from Comics Elite that I've been talking about here on the channel, definitely check this one out. This is a special 4-cover set from Ice Cream Man number 25 from acclaimed writer W. Maxwell Prince. The four covers are from left to right, Nino Camarata, Jimbo Salgado, Nathan Zerdy, and Frank Uzgat. You get all 4 of these. It's part of a set. It's limited to 500 with an individually numbered COA. If you are interested in these covers, I hope there's still some available. There is going to be a link and information for Comics Elite in the video description down below if you're interested in that. Now let's get to the news. Obviously, that's what we're here for. Let's talk about these DC Comics delays. Citing unprecedented strain on the global supply chain, DC announced delays on dozens of titles, 3 dozen so far to be specific, and allocations on most of its Batman Day books in a message to retailers this week. We know there's been some paper shortages. If you've been to your hardware store, I believe there's some wood shortages going around, and apparently these things have been getting worse and worse, and now they are going to be affecting DC Comics' ability through Lunar to distribute comics on time. This is what DC specifically said to retailers, quote, "Up to this point, we've been able to keep delays and shortages to a minimum, but with the recent notifications about COVID-related port closures, international and domestic freight delays, workforce shortages, and a severely allocated paper supply, we are unable to continue to manage this situation without disruption." In total, 35 titles are going to be delayed, with DC warning further shifts in the future and saying they expected the situation to persist for several more months in the future. Now, I did mention earlier Batman Day, right? And they said they're going to be allocating the Batman Day titles, except for the incentive covers specifically. That's what the company told retailers, because of these supply chain issues. Batman Day is September 18th. We are supposed to be getting a Batman Day special edition of Batman the World, Batman Nightwatch Bat Tech, which is like a Batman comic geared towards kids, and also a $1 reprint of Batman Fortnite 0.1. Not sure if you get the skins that were available in the original printing. I imagine for $1 you don't. But those were the 3 big, products that we're putting out to celebrate Batman Day. Now, what does it mean that they're being allocated except for the incentive covers? That means they are going to be underprinted and under-delivered, at least initially, on September 18th on Batman Day. So if you ordered 100 of Batman the World, maybe you get 50. I'm not sure exactly what the allocation is. Everybody's shipments are going to be reduced by a specific number, except for the incentive covers, the variant covers, which cost more for the retailers to order in the first place. Eventually, all these Batman Day comics will show up as ordered and already likely, I don't know if they've been paid for already, as ordered already. They probably haven't been paid for. They will arrive eventually, but they will not be there on Batman Day. So if you want a copy of Batman the World, the special edition, or this Batman Nightwatch Bat Tech, or this $1 Batman Fortnite comic, you better talk to your comic shop. Get it on your pull list. If they won't do that for you because of the numbers, you're going to need to be in line on September 18th to get in there and get your Batman Day comics to celebrate. Definitely be looking out for that. All right, so here's the list of every single comic that's going to be affected. It's a long list. I'm sorry. I will name them all off. I will not put the dates that they're being moved to, or I'm actually not even going to give you the issue number. But these are the comics that are being, I will give you the issue number. Static Season 1, Number 3, Green Lantern 2021 Annual, Suicide Squad 2021 Annual, and these things are being pushed all the way into 2022, just so you know. Blue and Gold Number 2, Superman Son of Kal-El Number 3, Batman the Adventure Continues Season 2 Number 4, Justice League 67, Batman the Detective Number 5, Hardware Season 1 Number 2, Superman Lock and Key Sandman Universe Hell and Gone Number 2, Deathstroke by Christopher Priest Omnibus, Static Season 1 Number 4, Teen Titans Academy Number 7, Wonder Girl Number 4, Batman Catwoman Number 8, Batman The Long Halloween Special Number 1, Nubia and the Amazons Number 1, Teen Titans Academy Number 8, Superman 78 Number 3, Suicide Squad Get Joker Number 3, Batman Reptilian Number 5, Wonder Girl Number 5, Justice League Dark, The New 52 Omnibus, Static Season 1 Number 5, Wonder Girl Number 6, Superman and the Authority, not sure what number that one is, Wonder Girl Number 7, Swamp Thing Volume 1 Becoming, Static Season 1 Number 6, The Book of Magic Omnibus Volume 2, Batman No Man's Land Omnibus Volume 1, and Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes Tabloid Edition. All have been delayed. Obviously, though, that is a large number. You're talking a lot of comic books that have been pushed back. And it's only going to get worse according to DC Comics, and they expect it to continue on for the months ahead. Obviously, this is very disappointing. I imagine this has a lot to do with the printers for these comic books being overseas, and that's why the port delays and stuff like this. But we do know that there is like a paper shortage, and perhaps that's one of the reasons that the prices are going up as well. Paper is actually becoming more expensive. Actually, any wood product is becoming more expensive right now because of all the things that are happening. Obviously, this sucks. Look out for yourself, and if you saw the list, that is there's some very big titles in there. Obviously, there's not like Batman, but we do have like Batman Catwoman, Batman Reptilian, the Batman Long Halloween, Justice League, Superman Son of Kal-El, Wonder Girl. These are a lot of big titles. Suicide Squad, Get Joker. So these things are going to persist, and it absolutely sucks. Your retailer obviously is going to be dealing with this more than you are, but keep on top of it. And expect more from this, at least from DC Comics in the days ahead or in the months ahead. We haven't heard from Marvel or any of the other publishers yet of this affecting them. But I almost, how can it not? Expect to see something from the other publishers coming up soon. Speaking of Marvel, let's get into the Death of Doctor Strange trailer. This was unveiled. Marvel Comics unveiled an official trailer for Death of Doctor Strange, a 5-part miniseries from Jed MacKay and Lee Garbett that chronicles the final days of Sorcerer Supreme. In the trailer, it claims it will take the entire Marvel Universe to solve the murder of Doctor Strange. Long live the Sorcerer Supreme. Rest in hell, Sorcerer Supreme. That's kind of the text that came up. There was a little bit before that, but those are the more interesting bits. There are a few hints at who the culprit may be, including a set of gnarling teeth that are within the animation. Strange is seen to be tied up by an incantation, while someone approaches with what appears to be a broadsword. Not sure if that's a special sword. If you recognize it, definitely put that in the comment section. Definitely want to know what sword that is. And there are also a couple of demonic figures that are kind of posed and looking very, very evil. They're likely to play a part in the death of Doctor Strange himself. And Marvel had an official press release stating, "The last moments in the life of Stephen Strange are upon us. In Death of Doctor Strange, writer Jed MacKay and artist Lee Garbett unite for this terrifying tale filled with the deadly new villains, outstanding mystical feats, and complex mysteries that all of Marvel's heroes will be desperate to solve. Fans can get their first glimpse at the dangers to come in the all-new Death of Doctor Strange trailer, featuring never-before-seen artwork from the first issue." I'd seen most of the artwork. There are a couple of things in there, I guess, that are new. But I will tell you this, the trailer is 1 minute, 15 seconds. It's got some of the images from the comic. They throw a little animation on them. Nothing groundbreaking. There are, like I said, there's a couple of hints and some words on it, but you can probably just skip this, get Death of Doctor Strange, and be quite happy with not watching the trailer. And Death of Doctor Strange is set to launch on Wednesday, September 22nd, and it's going to be a 5-part limited series, but will also include a number of tie-ins, which we kind of talked about in the November solicitations. We're going to get Death of Doctor Strange Avengers, Death of Doctor Strange, or Strange Academy presents Death of Doctor Strange, Death of Doctor Strange Spider-Man, and Death of Doctor Strange White Fox. It sounds, I don't know, does anyone else get the feeling that this is tying in somewhat with what's going on in Spider-Man? We know that Mephisto and Doctor Strange are going to be are kind of dueling right now for Peter's soul. I wonder if he loses, and that's what causes the death of it. I'm not really sure. I guess the big question is going to be who's going to be the next Sorcerer Supreme. Magic is heavily featured in that trailer. I'm going to talk to Doc about that on Sundays this week at X-Men. Maybe get to the bottom of that. Maybe he has some theories about Magic. Perhaps she'll be the next Sorcerer Supreme. Although she's so heavily featured in the trailer, it feels like a red herring, but we'll see. This is what writer Jed MacKay had to say. What happens to the world if Doctor Strange isn't in it? It's a question that I'm excited to show people the answer to in Death of Doctor Strange. Strange has been a Marvel fixture from the early days, but now his time has run out, and as a Strange fan, it's been my bittersweet privilege to shepherd him through his last days and the effects that snowball out of it. We've cooked up a whale of a story to send Strange off with, and I can't wait for people to join us on it. So there you go. Not a lot of details in there, but that's what writer Jed MacKay has said. And I must say, if you are not reading his Moon Knight, shame on you. That thing is badass. How is this the same guy that wrote Taskmaster? I'll never know. Final thoughts on Death of Doctor Strange. They're literally, Doctor Strange is in this enormous movie with Spider-Man. Perhaps he dies in the movie, and this is supposed to coincide with it. I'm not really sure. Obviously, that comes out in December. And then the next year, we're getting Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Clearly, he's going to be front and center there. So what does this mean for the Death of Doctor Strange? It's absolutely temporary, if he dies in it at all. Marvel's not above saying they're going to kill a character and not doing it. Trust me. So do not expect Doctor Strange to be gone for very long. He's very important to the MCU and the future of it, not only with Spider-Man, but his own Multiverse of Madness movie. There's no way that they're leaving Strange on the sideline while the movies are kicking off. They're definitely going to coincide with it. Now, when Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness comes out, will they have a new Doctor Strange #1 coinciding with it so they can beef up sales, to like 250,000 copies? Likely, with some special covers probably tying into the movie and stuff. But this is very temporary. There's no way this will even last a year. You heard it here, folks. Spoiler. All right, let's get into the third story. We've got a special 80-page giant coming from Geiger. Obviously, that is the big story, the debut of Mad Ghost from Jeff Johns at Image Comics with Gary Frank on art. It's been absolutely fantastic, especially this last issue. Really tied a lot of things together. It made everything worthwhile to this point. I wasn't loving the series until this last issue, and I'm like, yep, that's the one that needed to happen. So these are the details of the Geiger 80-page giant #1, which includes existing stories from the Geiger universe by creator Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, alongside such talents as Brian Hitch, Jay Farber, Sterling Gates, Janet Harvey, Leon Hendricks III, Peter J. Tomasi, Pornsak Pishato, Staz Johnson, Joe Prado, Paul Peltier, Sean Galloway, Peter Snyberg, Kelly Jones, and Megan Levins. Definitely some big names in there. And this is an exciting new chapter to showcase tales of Geiger's allies and enemies, and arrives from Image Comics this November. Ought to be pretty fun. And this is some of the highlights include Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch introducing a mysterious new character named Redcoat, and they will reveal his bizarre ties to the American Revolution and an unknown war in Geiger himself. So this apparently is a character that likely does not die. Maybe has some type of immortality going on. And we will also learn the origin of Geiger's two-headed dog, Barney, with the a sneak peek at Johns and Frank's new upcoming series, Junkyard Joe. So there you go. There's going to be a new series coming out of Mad Ghost from Johns and Frank, Junkyard Joe. And it'll be out Wednesday, November 24th. If you're excited about that, definitely put it on your pull list. I think this thing will be selling like hotcakes for all the people who did not, put it on their pull list ahead of time. And there's probably going to be a lot of reveals and first appearances if you're into speculation, and I know a lot of people right now are. Let's get into the final story. We're going to swing back over to DC Comics and talk about Wonder Woman, specifically Wonder Woman Evolution, which is going to see Diana Prince evolve into something radically new. This is a limited series written by Stephanie Phillips, who I believe just recently did an interview on Nerdette's Newsstand. If you want to hear from Stephanie herself, not sure that she talks about Wonder Woman Evolution, but you can get an idea of the creator. And this is going to have art by Mike Hawthorne, whose exclusive contract with Marvel just ended. He was doing some work on Daredevil alongside Marco Cicchetto, and this is going to be, it's a big step up for Stephanie Phillips as far as an artist. She's working, I believe, with Riley Rossmo now, who's absolutely awful. Mike Hawthorne, pretty damn good, especially if you like his Deadpool work, especially if you like his Daredevil work. And Wonder Woman Evolution will run a total of 8 issues, and it follows Diana Prince's Wonder Woman as she heads to space at the request of some cosmic beings who force Diana to fight in an old-fashioned duel to prove Earth's worthiness. I thought she just did that in Dark Knight's Death Metal. Wasn't that the entire point of that? So Diana could save the world instead of Superman or Batman in a cosmic level duel to prove Earth's worthiness. Not exactly a new concept, but hey, this is DC Comics. They're not doing anything new. They're just rehashing old stuff and then changing character races and genders and sexualities. And according to Phillips, Evolution, quote, symbolizes my interest in seeing Diana evolve through her own history and emerge out the other side of this trial as a changed person, evolving into something different than we've seen from Diana in the past stories, unquote. They've done this before, and it never goes well. Remember when they removed her powers and turned her into a spy? That stuff was actually pretty good. It was like well executed, but people do not like it. They do not like it when you make wholesale changes to a major character like Wonder Woman. We shall see if she delivers exactly what she's saying here, because if she does, well, first of all, she's not writing the mainline Wonder Woman series. That's the problem in DC Comics. What's canon anymore? What's even continuity? But there's no way she's going to be able to do this. And then she also claims, Stephanie Phillips, her second idea is, quote, more specific story note that Diana is standing trial for humanity because we've evolved beyond evolutionary needs and now use these new technological capabilities to destroy the planet and each other, unquote. Great. We've already got John Kent is fighting can't call it global warming anymore because that hasn't happened. Climate change. We've got him fighting systems and all that stuff. It sounds like Diana's going to be fighting that as well. I bet she won't fight it. She'll probably accept that humans are awful. I wonder if Stephanie Phillips, when she was writing this, got rid of her phone and her computer and all the other technological capabilities that she's using that destroy the world. You think so? Do you think that she adjusted her carbon footprint so she could more what's the word that I can't find it right now. More accurately portray this story authentically, so she could authentically tell this story of Diana Prince and her coming to terms with the fact that humans are evil and they're destroying the earth. I wonder if Stephanie Phillips adjusted her carbon footprint, which I know she would like me to. That's your news today. We got a lot of big stuff going on. Huge amount of delays from DC Comics. If you're a fan of Batman Day, if you can't get them on your pull list, you're going to have to get there first thing because the comics have been allocated, meaning there's going to be a lot less of them unless you got the incentive covers. We've also got the Death of Doctor Strange trailer. Not a ton of new information, but a couple of new things in there. We will be talking to my good friend Doc on This Week in X-Men on Sunday about Magic's appearance in that trailer. There's also the Geiger 80-page giant that's coming out from Image Comics, part of the Mad Ghost imprint over there from Jeff Johns. going to be introducing a lot of new characters, supporting characters in the Geiger universe, and it sounds like you're going to get some teases of some upcoming new series as well. And finally, Stephanie Phillips is making a promise that I absolutely guarantee you that she cannot keep in making wholesale changes to Wonder Woman. She's not the Wonder Woman writer. She's the Harley Quinn writer. They're not going to let her do stuff like that. She can pretend to make major changes, but unless it happens in the actual Wonder Woman book, it's kind of meaningless. I hate to be such a cynical person, but it's the truth.